Hey pinballers, we're going to go over the major components of this system. So we start with an Arduino Mega. And the reason why we use a Mega is because we want to be able to play not only sound effects, but also music in the background. And possibly something else, maybe ultimately a video. So what a Mega has the ability to play multiple things at once, unlike just a regular Arduino. You can use an Arduino, but you may just be able to just get sound effects, which nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to play music as well. The second item we're going to need is what's called a shield. And this is going to go over the Arduino, and it gives you a lot more accessibility for pins. And I wanted to have the males as the pins and the plugs and the wires being females, so it's easier to connect. You technically don't need this, but I highly recommend this, and these aren't too much. Nothing in this build is very expensive at all. Third things are going to be the MP3 players, and these are little called the DF mini players. And what they do is actually contain the sound files that we're going to use. And we're going to also need little SD cards where we're going to be loading our sounds and loading the music onto one of two DF mini players, which are back here. So we'll be building these things up, and they're pretty straightforward. I'm not an expert at all, and I made these things as best I can, but I'm sure there's some room for improvement. Lastly, well, not lastly, but we have just a junction to take the output from the players into a area for speakers. We have one speaker for background music, another speaker for sound effects, and these can be any speakers you want. There is a small amplifier on the DF mini players, about a 3 amp. There's ways to bump it up and not an audio file, so I don't know how to do that, but maybe in comments you can make suggestions. For now, we just try to have one speaker associated with one player. We don't have any cross mixing or even technically stereo yet, but for a pinball machine out in the arcade or in your house, that may suffice. But I'm sure there's levels of sophistication one can elaborate on. And lastly, we're going to have a computer, and it's going to be able to load our code, which is going to be downloaded into Arduino, and it also gives you some ability to see what's going on through the serial monitor. Again, this is all free to download these programs. There's a great user base to help you with things, and I'll upload the code that I'm using, and I'm sure while it's sufficient, there's also rooms for improvement in that as well. So those are the major components, other than possibly, one other thing, we got sensors. So the sensors are going to be mounted inside the pinball machine at various locations. Each sensor is activated by a different type of motion or activity. This is a Hall sensor. Terrible shot, sorry about that. Which works off of detecting the magnetic field. We also have optocouplers that work off of detecting motion. We also have ones that detect off of light. And so within the pinball machine, we look for different features and we apply the correct sensor for it in order to get the reaction from the sound machine that we want. Those are the major components. And again, obviously there's wires and leads and connectors, but that's what pretty much makes this up. So I'm going to be posting a listing of all the parts that I used as an Amazon affiliate. If you can go through that channel to order them, that'd be great. But if there's any questions, also post them in the chat below. Thank you.